evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on folks. It's man, George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, it's been a busy day to me. Just wrapped up an interview earlier this afternoon, and now I have another interview. And this lady has been a guest here before. She's a lovely lady, and I want to give a shout out to a gentleman that introduced us a while back, BC Royce. Shout out to him. He suggested to her. And this was when we interviewed about a couple of years ago, but there's some good news for her this year round. Last year, she did the Masters USAs and earned her IFBB Pro card. And a story about how she got there and now what she's going to do now. It's just amazing. So we welcome here Nikki Treadway, aka my darling Nikki. So
thank you.
Yeah, and we thank you for your time. And again, I want to say to her, congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, we talked earlier. It's tough because with you have a lot of things in your eye. You have a child. You have a little child. He's grown. You don't really worry about him too much, but you still worry about it as a mom. And
yeah, he's all the way grown.
Yeah, he's a man now. So, and doing now, was the USA's was going to be that last resort for you, or you feel like you want to take a shot at nationals?
Well, when I won the first show and qualified for nationals, I just knew that there was no other option for me at that point but to win the pro card. Like I needed to win because I had worked so hard and we were counting on it. So when we went to nationals and we won, there was no other choice. There was no even thought in my mind that I was not going to win. So qualified and went and won.
Yeah, and that's experience. Like I said, I saw it. It wasn't a deep lineup because usually because you do women's bodybuilding. And with that division, not a lot of ladies jump onto as much. I remember I interviewed a lady who, if you know her, Samantha Way. She also did Master USA last year, and then what I had to do was kind of bunch up together and move some competitors from other divisions, and just to fill that spot. Yeah. But she did get a pro card at that show. Also, another lady who was at that show, also Christine Shutton, she also got a pro card. What was that feeling like when they told you, hey, you're not IFB Pro?
Well, we kind of had a similar issue with the show. There was not enough women within the bodybuilding division. We were all spread out over the different classes, so all the age groups. And so basically they had to condense us all into one age group. We only had one lady that didn't condense in, and she's the one that ended up competing against for the overall. But I actually, honestly, George, didn't even know until about 30 seconds before I stepped on stage that they were even going to be awarding pro card at finals. Because as of prejudging, they didn't know if they were going to be giving out any pro cards or not. So, we went through prejudging and the whole break. And then right before I went back on stage, the girl in front of me said, "Oh, yeah, they're going to be giving a pro card." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's good." So at that point we were just competing just because we, had entered the show, but there was going to be no pro card. I mean, I didn't know about it until right before we went on stage. So I was just really glad and thankful that the other ladies, because really backstage it's teamwork. Everyone's, talking to each other. And I'm just glad that everybody decided to go ahead and condense because we're all there for the same reason. We're all there for the pro card. And if that didn't happen, then there would have been no pro card awarded actually. So it was really good news. I was excited. I was pretty confident in what I was doing and where I was at. So I was excited.
Yeah, I mean, I know in some cases, when it comes down to it, you can always put an application for it. The judges would feel like you have that shape condition and want to be an IFB Pro, but more often you have to definitely win to get your pro card. Wait, we'll put my glasses out here. We got some people here. We got here, Emma T. saying this. Says,
oh, that's my daughter.
Your daughter. Hey, baby. Said, yeah, ma. It said, and also. We got here Chad T. Davis. Shout Chad says, "Hey, brother George, it's your brother Chad. I know it's been a minute. I hope all is well. I wanted to give huge shout out to Nikki as promised as on her IG. Hey, Miss Lady, you're looking beautiful. Also, we have here my man KL1 says salute. And my man Lawrence Perkins says, hello, Nikki, Georgia, everyone. I appreciate it. Every now and then I gotta start putting on my old man glasses now. So
Thank you very much, everybody.
yeah, and that's a experience, to train and work out. Who was your coach? Because it's the same coach that we talked about the last time we did the interview.
No, I actually got a new coach in October of 2024. I started working with Frank Abude at Fort Washington Gym, and then we now have moved over to Trinity Gym. But he has been coaching me. The day I met him, he said, "What's your goal?" And I said, "I want to go pro." And he said, "Well, what are you willing to do?" And I said, "Anything." And he said, "Okay, we're gonna go pro." And so, yeah, he's been my coach since then, and he's still my coach. And we're getting ready to go into this show in November now.
Show in November. So
Yep.
I'm assuming, and as often as I say, the quote from my master Raza Gula Demon's Head, the beer rarely surrounds all time, young Master Wayne. So it sounds like he might be doing the Steve Carr show.
I am definitely doing the Steve Carr show. That's the plan right now. Yep. Yep.
With you,
There's a
because
lot of competition in that Steve Carr show, but I'm so excited. I'm ready. I'm gonna do 100% my best, and we're gonna crush it. Absolutely.
well, that's big news, folks. That means we got more bodies. I just had an interview with a lady last Monday, Lisa Apodaca, who just made her pro debut at the Triple O. And
Okay.
yeah, and she's going to be doing that show. I know we'll probably have a good shout out to Austin Carr, and the show is named after his father, Steve, and giving women's bodybuilding an opportunity to have a stage. This year has not been a good year, and
I know.
yeah, there was a show just wrapped up. The Puerto Rico Pro only had two women competing in women's bodybuilding. That was in the 40 plus for Masters O
Yeah.
qualification. Triple O was the best known, like altogether 14 ladies. But then you have shows like you in California. There was the Grand Prix, but it's gone because it was exchanged for the Tampa Bay Pro. Chicago's not
Yeah.
having it, and New York's not having it because next month is going to be a dry season for bodybuilding until Toronto. It's a couple of shows overseas.
Yeah, it is going to be a dry season. I was looking at the schedule of shows, and the only other one that potentially we were considering would have been Pittsburgh, which I think is in September. But I decided to wait until November for Steve Carr, and the goal is to do open. That's the plan. Do the open.
Yeah, but still,
Do the open
Open's
and
pretty
see
good.
how we do.
Yeah, we have here comments here. We get here from I think it's from her name is I believe it's Ali. Says,
Oh,
"Yeah,
that's
coach."
my athlete that's competing in a few weeks. Hi, Allie.
Oh, Allie, if she ever, hey, Allie, if you're interested in ever doing an interview, and also we have here another is Penelope saying,
That's my
"Go
mom.
Nikki." Oh, Miss Penelope, yo, thank you for coming through,
Hi,
ma'am.
mom.
I see pretty, like you gotta see pictures of she's just as pretty as her mama. So
I
and
know.
yeah, and your mom is I think this is one thing, she really supports you because we talked about it before how she even works out and trains. I think she started following me on my IG account at All the Rage Joy
Yeah,
page.
probably.
Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah, my mom is amazing. She is amazing. She is just as fit. She has actually started coaching too. So she has some clients that she coaches over at the beach about 3 hours away from me. And my mom is a total baddie. I love her. She is awesome and hugely inspiring to me every day. All I know is when I retire, I want to be just like my mom.
yeah. Well, as a man, I couldn't be just like my mom. I'm a man, so but I miss my
I
mother.
know.
My mother was a great lady. She had to raise us and do what she had to do as a woman. And I just interviewed a lady who's 73 years old, and she just started competing last year, and she went through a lot.
Nice.
We have here shout out to the lovely Miss Penelope again. She says, "Hi guys." Yeah, hi there. And
George,
also,
tell my mom she should do a show. We want my mom to do a show.
yeah, Miss Philly, I wouldn't mind seeing you in a posing suit. I mean, I gotta admit my crime, Miss Penelope. Your daughters are lovely, and I am a muscle person.
Thank
Oh, you
you.
need to sight me. You
Well,
make me feel certain kind of ways. I'm just a dog chasing cars. So, and we have here as another guest. Shout out. I gotta put my old glasses on for a second here, and this is from a man. Chad says, "You're most welcome, Miss Nikki. I hope you remember me still. Maybe I MIBO. Mount Everest is still a low, weak hill compared to your legs and glutes. You go, girl." Shot here. We got my man here. David Rowland says, "Eat your food and lift shit, heavy shit."
yes, sir. I
and
shall eat all my food.
and your mama laughing.
I know. She's
And we
cool.
got here from your client. He says, "Yes, Penny." So yeah, shout out to her. So doing Steve Carr show, most competitors will take like a good full year off just so he can maybe gain a little size, bring in conditioning. Like, I forget who was. I think was Sandy Williamson the judge at the Masters USA, or who was the head judge of that show?
Yeah, Sandy was the judge. Sandy has been the judge at all my shows. Yeah.
Yeah. And did you get talked to about the feedback from what you need to do?
Yeah, the feedback that I basically got was to make sure that my lower body keeps up with my upper body and fill in the glutes more because I have some um looseness there. So that was the feedback. But I mean, we've been working really hard on it, and this off season so far, I have put on about 20 pounds since the show. But we've maintained muscle. I've put on about 6 pounds of muscle so far, and I'm sitting about 16% body fat, and I've got about 88 pounds of muscle. So my body weight right now is 182.
Right now, we
So
can
we're
see
probably
it.
going to go up another 10 pounds, I think.
We can see it in the shoulders and stuff. She got a tank top on, guy. You can see it. And yeah, that's the thing is with women's bodybuilding, it's not so much about mass, but also about conditioning. And we all
Yeah.
know your past, you were very overweight, and it's
Yes.
one thing is trying to get those aesthetics to be tight and conditioned because it's like a lot of issues with loose skin and stuff like that. Like especially working on more important part is your glutes, your back. Because
Yep.
I often have been told you win or lose on how you come conditioning from the back.
Yeah, so the one thing that Frank, my coach, always tells me is backs and legs win shows. Like the glutes, the hammies, the tie-ins, the width of your back, the definition. I would say that's definitely what we spend the most time working on. So yeah, I mean, if you have a nice back, but I mean, the man makes me do like 50 pull-ups a day. So I mean, you know, we're definitely in it. We're doing okay so far, but I had no choice but to just fill it up because I mean, I can't cut off, cut off all this random skin. So that's really been the big push is just filling it up and tightening the skin and doing everything I can to take any like extra water out of the skin before the show. Everything I can to make it as tight as possible is pretty much where we're at.
Yeah, because one thing is the body often has to adapt to changes, especially when you lose weight. I
Yeah,
went to I went to the doctor last Tuesday where I lost a few pounds, but it's a process.
yeah,
And women like yourself, who was like in my situation where you were overweight and trying to fight and deal with it, and raising kids and working and trying to find time to dedicate to a sport that's very extreme.
yeah.
Mhm. So, folks, where we get Nikki here, what we do is this. We're going to jump into her social media for a bit. You want to follow her, the
Sure.
links description is live. But guys, her mama's here, her daughter's here. You know my rules. You know my rules. Be respectful. This is a lady. I know you guys. She got a tank top on. She's all pumped up. She looks like yeah. But guys, be respectful. This shot my man Lawrence. He's a great guy. He says, sorry, this is from Chad says, "Nice tattoo, by the way, Miss Nikki." Shout out to Chad. So, folks, we're gonna
Thank
jump to
you.
the social media for a bit. You want to follow Nikki? You can find the links in the description. So here's popping here. And I'm telling you, you have really evolved. Like I saw this posted with her. I said, "Va va voom." Wow. I mean, nice dress. You know,
Thank
you
you.
know,
Thank you.
where you going out? Who's the man? Who you meeting? I mean, who?
Absolutely nobody, sir. Come on now.
You know,
Absolutely nobody. I only get dressed for me. That's it.
I don't know. You can dress for me anytime. I mean, you look. I mean, you was a beautiful lady before, but now you have really hit the levels. I mean, look at these guys. Look at her delts. Look at her shoulders. She's really put on some size. I mean, especially as the sport evolve over time for you. What is the thing you feel like was the most important part in your process?
You know what? The most important part was just relentless pursuit. I mean, never slowing down, never giving up, and trusting my coach and trusting in myself. I mean, once I actually was like, okay, I can do this. I mean, everything changed, and all I know is that I never ever want to feel like I felt when I was 350 pounds and extremely depressed. And so every single day I just try to be better, and I just do better. And I'm kind and caring, and I just try to spread my love and knowledge to everybody that I encounter and everybody that I know. Everybody should get a chance to feel like the best version of themselves. And I am just so thankful that I have all these wonderful people around me that help me feel and support me and hype me and love me. And I mean, there's nothing that beats how I feel right now, like at all.
Yeah, you have your boy, you got your girl, your mama, your friends, your clients. Because I was
Yeah,
talking
my
to somebody
clients
how
are amazing.
yeah, how many clients you got now?
I don't know actually, because I kind of have them divided out in between in person and remote, but we're well over like 30 at this point.
And how many out of the 30 you think are aspiring to be bodybuilders like yourself?
I actually have myself and Paula and Michelle and Allison. So I actually have three other girls right now that are getting ready to compete all this year. So it's going to be a busy year.
Yeah, and and that's one thing is I talk to some competitors. They really, when it comes to a coach, I think they feel comfortable with a woman than they do with a man because women understand the aspects of especially going through menopause or menstrual cycles or stuff compared to a man. Here she is talking.
Witness is always summer.
He can't get bigger than me. You got to tell me what.
No, he can't get bigger than you. So it's a competition right here.
I'm trying to convince him to let me press the 100-pound dumbbells.
Well, he wants you to get hurt. He because he wants you to be you're a woman. He don't want you to get hurt and be too dainty.
I know. He doesn't want me to get hurt, but I'm gonna do those hundreds real soon.
Yeah, and here's a nice picture. And who's the gentleman in the middle?
That is my son.
Ah, he's a good-looking boy. I mean, who's the
Thank
lady
you.
on the
That's
other
my
side?
son, and then that's my best friend. Yeah.
Was she there with you at the Masters?
She has been there with me for every single show, every single moment. She actually helped me do my lashes for the podcast right now. Like, yeah, she's my ride or die. She's been with me through every show, every prep. I told her today, I said, by the way, we go back into prep on May 1st. And she goes, we? And I said, yeah, we are going into prep.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
Has
she's
she
awesome.
has she been interested about getting involved to bodybuilding herself, or she just being your ride and die?
No, I'm actually really working hard on her. Right now, her goal is to maybe do a show when she turns 50, but that's still a couple years away. So I'm trying to get her to do it within the next like 18 months because she has quite a lot of muscle. So, I'm working on her every day.
Yeah, keep working on it. I mean, yeah, you say she's gonna turn 50. Like, wow, I thought she was like a lot younger than that. I mean,
I know, she looks fantastic. She has a very extensive skincare routine.
yeah, I mean, I just wash my face and that's it. We're not, as men, we are not as fancy, but it's a process when it comes to being a woman in the sport of bodybuilding, from training to dieting. A lot is involved with it. And here she looks really good. I mean, in just a few weeks, just another few weeks away from her, but I would say at least about another 4 or 5 months away from a pro debut.
Yeah.
Conditioning, everything's come off. Here's a video that I saw, and it was on your IG. I think this is you, and you were on a podcast, right?
No, that is actually Paula at the top. That's one of my she owns the boxing gym that I work at. But they were talking about the boxing gym and different diets and stuff. Yeah, so that's actually not me.
We did tastings, we did the cheese crawl. And it's phenomenal.
There is a lot of drama when we do one of these challenges. I've had ladies cry.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah. Is you still doing the boxing?
Paula. She's also my client. She's getting ready to compete in September.
Oh, and you're still doing the boxing, aren't you?
Yep. I still try to box as much as I can.
Yeah, that's the thing is, I mean, that's good for cardio when you're training. It helps, build a little more extra muscle. I mean, I've been a boxing fight fan since I was a kid. We have here some more guests popping in. We have, let me put on my old man glasses. Says, shout out to Allison saying, she's my coach and my bestie. I'll come from them too. All right, thank you. We have a man, BC Royce coming through. Says, looking good, Nikki. She's a great trainer too, and will get you good results. Yeah, it's out to BC.
Thanks,
he was
Brandon.
on live the other day. Yeah, he was the one that introduced me to the lovely Nikki. Also, we got here from man Chad says, "Oh my, I told you Mount Everest is a low budget hill compared to Miss Nikki." And says, and also he says this. He says, "What and when is your next show, Miss Nikki?" Well, she says she's going to do Steve Carr's show. That's in November, and if that show wasn't available, would you think you would do another show, or you feel like you want to take the rest of the year?
If Steve Carr wasn't available, then I probably would have gone into prep about a month ago and done the September show in Pittsburgh. Yeah, I feel like at this point right now, having the 16% body fat going into prep, because my goal for the next show and my coach's goal is obviously to bring some more size, but definitely dialing conditioning a lot more. Last time I started prep, I was actually at like 24% body fat. So starting fat, now at 16%, I'm really excited. Like we're gonna be peeled. It peeled all the way back.
She's gonna be peeled.
Mom, don't freak out. Mom, don't freak out.
Yeah, Mom said, "What is that? Is that my little girl with the Hulk?" Dun, 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 dun.
My son calls me an Avenger.
Yeah, like I bet you, like your son said, somebody might see you while with your son say, "Hey, man, is that your girl?" I mean, she looks like you. Oh my God, that's Mr. Treadway. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Treadway. I know. Mr. Treadway, you look really good today. Sorry.
I know. It's pretty funny. He moved not too long ago, and I said, "Oh, are your friends gonna help you move?" And he goes, "No, they asked, but I told them that I have an Avenger helping me move, so I didn't need help."
Come on, boy. You get those men. Let your mother be a woman once in a while. Why? You got get those boys to do the work. That's the sad part about it. We got here your mom, Miss Penelope. She's doing.
I know. That's good.
Yeah, she's so sweet.
She worries about me.
That's the thing is like I never had children. You have children, and she had to like I can't ask you, are you her only child or she has more?
No, there's 3 of us. I have an older brother and I have a younger sister also.
Yeah. And I think where are you placed? You're the middle, right?
I am in the middle, yep.
Yeah, you're like me. We're knee babies, as we call it in the South, the middle kids. We have to fight for our love, mama. The oldest, that they're the ones that is the firstborn. That's the one represents the family. The baby, that's mama's last. And that's the one, gets spoiled and a lot of the love because she knows she's not gonna have any more. But us middles, we have to fight because we have to prove our love. And what about your brothers and sisters? Did they ever come to your shows or they support your bodybuilding? What their thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, my brother supports from afar. He doesn't live real close to me. And my sister is at all my shows. I mean, she's helped me, you know, she's helped to kind of sponsor me. She's helped me pay for things for shows. I mean, yeah, I am very, very blessed and very lucky that I have my entire family supports me, my entire friend group. I mean, when I went to Vegas for my last show, my group of people that went to support me, I had like 20 people that went from California, Portland, like 20 people went to Vegas just to watch me compete. Like it was mind blowing. It was the most amazing experience of my life. But my support system is so extensive. I mean, I don't have anybody in my life that doesn't support me, doesn't support my bodybuilding. Like everybody is, I couldn't be luckier. And I mean, that's the truth.
That's
I
good because
love
you know
it.
what, this sport can be a lot, and most people who don't understand it. Just may not puts too much interest into it, especially when it's because the extreme of the sport. Because of
Yeah.
when people look at it, because of men and women, but with men, they get that allowance they can build muscle. With women, it seems like it's more like we just had a discussion how when we talk about how why people get intimidated by women with muscle. You know, why do you think that? Because you have muscle, you're this big buff, you're supposed to be this monster. Like, because I remember one guy talking about how he was talking about a subject. He says like how a guy sees one with muscle says he's gonna beat me up. No, most of y'all are not fighters. You're not like you do little boxing. You know, you can do some like Apollo Creed shit. You know, be like Rocky
I mean, I'm
Balboa.
probably good.
Yeah, but most of y'all are just general giants. You know, and some of them not really much giants. I mean, I remember where a while back, and I always want to point this out. I was at I went to a show. I went to Tampa, and I got to meet some ladies that interviewed and some ladies that compete. One person I got to meet, and you'll realize how tiny she is when you get next to her, and that is Ashley Young. Ashley is she's a unit, and she won
Yeah,
the Steve Carr
she
show.
is.
And you know, this was just maybe a few weeks from just maybe about Tampa was in August. It was like maybe a month or so from the Olympia, and
Okay.
someone like Veronica Hinton. She's
Yeah.
amazing. And what the highlight for my was where I got to meet some legends. Like I ran into Kevin Levrone, who I remember coming up. I met
Nice.
Bob Chicorello. I got to talk with Tim Gardner. Right there was Isabel Terrell, and Isabel tried not to look at her because she was used, But one of the biggest highlights for me was when I get to meet this man in the middle, when I got to meet David Lee Roth. That is
Nice.
something
That's so cool.
I mean, I'm a country boy. I'm hearing this man's music. It was Van Halen, not Ben Hagar or Van Sharon. And to meet him in person, it was just, he's a big bodybuilding fan from back in the day because his old coach was Kay Baxter, who's a legend in sport bodybuilding women. We got here some comments here. Everybody wants to talk. We got here. This is from my man Jeff. Shout out to my man Jeff. He says, "Hey Nikki, I think I followed you on IG." Yeah, okay. He says this. He says, "Yeah, I just followed you on IG." Also, this is from I believe it's Chelsea saying, "That's
Hi,
my
Chelsea.
beautiful, brilliant coach right here." Because she promoted this. She really promoted this. I appreciate we ladies promote these interviews because we get a good crowd. You got a lot of people, your mom, your daughter, your clients, your friends, And
Yeah.
again, it goes back to that is important to have that support because this sport can be for any athlete gets into it, the mental issues of it, dealing with anything from post-show blues to also dealing with body dysmorphia, and then just feeling like you're something different when you go out into the real world.
Yeah. Chelsea and I were she was asking me questions just the other day. We were talking about the depression that kind of can follow the show, and just the fact that just because your outside looks a certain way, it doesn't fix anything on the inside, unfortunately. We still deal with depression. We still deal with, the body dysmorphia, not liking how we look, not liking certain things about our bodies. I mean, and people need to know that just because like I'm a pro bodybuilder or someone competes in bodybuilding or they do well at it, it doesn't mean that, our lives are perfect and we're never sad and we're never depressed. And, I mean, after my first shows, I literally got post-show blues really bad, and I got pretty depressed, and I started drinking pretty heavily, and I started eating really unhealthily. And that was kind of the point when I met Frank, and I was like, I have to do something. Like, I want to go pro. I have to do something, and I need a goal because that depression was real, like super real. This time, it didn't really get to me quite so much. I was prepared for it, I guess you could say. And I just made sure that I had a really good support system, and I just stayed really focused. But the depression can be gnarly. I mean, I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh, I don't like this little fat thing I have right here or this over here. And then people are like, you're crazy. But it doesn't matter. You still pick yourself apart, and you can get yourself into a really dark place if you're not careful,
Yeah.
and my big goal is, to teach, really also just teach and educate, but teach my daughter that, no matter how we look or what we're going through, we need to talk, we need to communicate, go to therapy, just do the things that you need to do that really truly make you happy. And deep down, just be a badass. Like, know your self-worth, own your self-worth, be confident in who you are, and be a good person. Because if you're a good person, and you're happy with yourself on the inside, it's so much better. Like, I'm a very nice person, and I just do that every single day because that's what makes me feel good. So, but the depression is definitely an issue, and the body dysmorphia, it's a gnarly thing.
Yeah, because it can affect how you look at yourself, and then even though other people see like, wow, you look great, you look amazing, but you don't think you look like that. You might think you look like
Yeah.
I'm like a bloated piece of meat, and
Yeah.
and plus the post show blues because you get those shreds when y'all I can't say it for your mother. I want to be respectful, as y'all ladies look vascular and all together, and we
Yeah.
see that because I go back to this how when we see you on the stage and y'all in your posing suits, y'all in shape, y'all in condition,
Yeah.
everything's popping, the tan's right, the baby oil's on the right spots, but we don't understand what it took you to get there, the training, the diet, the constant being consistent and disciplined and being not so much motivated to understand that motivation is not that biggest part of being a bodybuilder. It's being
Yeah.
consistent, being persistent, being patient, and also being regimental when you come to training and your diet. We got here some comments. Shout out to my man here, BC. He says this. This says, Nikki is actually pretty good at boxing. Her muscles are not just for show because she got some power. Yeah, also. Shout out to my man Chad. He says, congratulations to Miss Nikki. You are a female Thor. Your legs are your hammers of thunder. So you're Thor. Thor loves the
So
thunder.
funny.
Yeah. These guys, again, Nikki, these guys love y'all ladies. They just get out. We have here from Chelsea says this. Thank you for transparency, Nikki. This means so much. And that's true because a lot of people make assumptions. When it goes to bodybuilding, it's about steroids. I cop some pills and I just get big and huge and yoked. I mean, like, oh no,
Yeah.
but it's not that. Again, it goes back to consistency. It goes back to training. It goes back to the diet. It goes back to the mental aspects of it. I know quite a few. A friend of mine tell me, said, George, if these people out here take the stuff I take when I get ready for my prep, but don't follow a diet or a plan or work on what is they need to work on improvements, you're not going to look like what I look like.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to anybody, right? I'm not natural, I have my own stack, I have a very conservative protocol that, my coach and I decided on. But at the end of the day, anybody can sit here and put injections in themselves all day long or take the pills or do the things. But if you don't do the work behind any of that, it does you no good. You know what I mean? Just like, the people that hop on GLP-1s and stuff. I mean, not that those are bad things, they're great tools, But if you're not doing some kind of like diet and exercise plan along with those types of things, then you just lose weight and then the skin gets floppy and so it's the same with losing weight and it's the same with bodybuilding. You can take all the things in the world to help you, but you have to do the work. And the parts that people don't see is, getting up at 3 a.m., doing fasted cardio at 3:15 in the morning, going to work at 4:30 and working all the way until 7 or 8 o'clock at night. I come home and my daughter is, helping me make food, and my daughter knows what prep is and she knows what peak week is. And, she's helping me do laundry. I mean, she basically runs this house when
Oh,
I'm doing all this stuff. I mean, she is my little bestie. She's my little rock. I mean, but people don't see all that stuff. They don't see me, upset or stressed out or agitated. I mean, some people do, that I talk to and trust, but it's so much more than just taking a pill or doing a shot. I mean, it's so um, people think it's just magic, and it's not magic. I
you
mean, there's
know,
so much more to it.
it's not like you remember that old school magician Doug Hitting. It's magic, but it's not like that. It's about sticking to a plan, staying consistent, staying disciplined, and understanding the aspects of what it is, especially when it comes to a woman. Like what a guy takes is not the same what a woman takes. And I often say like the guys, they're gonna be like bigger condition. Women have certain look,
Yeah.
as you know. You see like divisions are like starting to change. And there's a new division on the horizon. Excuse me. Every time I mention that division, it disgusts me. It's called fit model. Excuse me. I feel I've been following bodybuilding for a long time. I've seen this sport evolve from people like Corey Evenson to Linda Murray to Iris Kyle to my girlfriend Andrea. And I'm like this. When you bring in another division, it's supposed to be a spin-off of the division you're supposed to be spinning off from. It's gonna end up after a while looking like that division. I'm looking at girls because you were behind the stage. You're looking at girls that probably were double dipping. There were girls who like doing two divisions, and
Yeah.
you see like it's like with physique and with bodybuilding. I think it's kind of easy, but then you're a figure competitor jumping into physique, and then you are a wellness competitor jumping into figure. I mean, it's crazy.
The last weekend, my client Allie and I, we went up to a show in Silicon Valley, and they were actually moving wellness and some bikini girls around so they had somebody in figure division. And I mean, they were just kind of putting them everywhere. It was pretty wild to see. Yeah. And then the fit model, there was girls doing fit model and bikini. So, I don't know. I'm not sure. A lot of people said fit model was just a money grab.
Yeah,
So
that's what it
I don't
is.
know.
And that's funny.
Yeah.
It said that you don't want the fit model girls cross over into bikini. You're supposed to exclusively do fit model, but you're letting girls from fit model cross over bikini. That's something.
There was a
I
lot of crossover happening at the show. From what I heard, I wasn't backstage. I don't know. But from what I heard, there was a lot of crossover happening at the show because they were just lacking athletes in certain divisions. I mean, it's a smaller show anyway. But the whole show, there was only 38 competitors at that show in total,
okay.
men and women.
Yeah. We have here from your dear mother, lovely Miss Penelope. He says this. He says, shout out to your mother. He says, Nikki is
Oh,
also a self-defense instructor giving back to the community. You're a real Avenger. You're a hero, you know. Your mama tooting your horn. That's my baby. That's my baby.
she's crazy.
Yeah, don't call
Yeah,
her mama.
in February, I went to Georgia and got certified as a self-defense instructor, a rad self-defense instructor. And I think that every woman needs to know how to defend themselves because there's people out there that will take advantage.
Yeah, because that's crazy. Because you know what that is. Because you know what women, you are our both our greatest strengths, but also our greatest weaknesses.
Yeah.
And as a man, like I said again, the times where I had women get me mad, but I'm not gonna unless you throw hands against me. Yeah, I'm gonna have to defend myself. My mama told her, no matter what, man, woman, or beast, you defend yourself. But I think any real man respects a woman, and understands that we have a little extra. Even though I don't have muscles like I used to when I was younger, they're under there. But our strength, we have to really
Jordan,
be
who's bigger?
uh yours. No, I'm gonna say that. Yeah. Yeah. So guys, you got a little flex, so be happy. But yeah, shout out to my man. Chad says, he says, Miss Nikki, what is your favorite go-to cheat meal?
Anybody that knows me knows I love a good burger. I love Habit Burger. I'm obsessed with Habit Burger and also Smash Burger. I like Hammy Smash Burger, but I like a good burger and fries all the way. No bacon,
Yeah.
just cheese. Keep it simple but delicious.
Me, I like a nice. If I eat a burger, I like maybe some cheese, a little bacon. I don't use ketchup. I use barbecue sauce. It has a good flavor to it. A while back, after my doctor's appointment, I went to this Chinese buffet place. It's just down the road from my doctor's office. And you know what? I decided to treat myself. I have a little Chinese food. It's a buffet place. I mean, got some chicken, got some broccoli, Food is like a tool when it comes to bodybuilding. The right food helps build you. Wrong foods can hurt you. Especially one thing I ask you ladies, like often after your last show, and after USA's, what was that thing, my darling Nikki, that you wanted? That thing that after that long prep, the boring food, the tireless, flavorless chicken and rice. What was the thing you desire, my dear? Share with me. Share with your man, the Joker.
The first thing I ate after was Italian food. We went and ate Italian food and had some it was delicious. It was like a whole 5 course deal. But I just ate a little bit, and the next day the best thing I had was a cheeseburger, fries, and I had a milkshake. I missed having like real ice cream. I ate a lot of protein ice cream, like Ninja Creamy ice cream, but I had actual real ice cream the next day, like a big milkshake, Butterfinger milkshake. That was so good.
Ooh, yeah, ice
Yeah.
cream. Like I'm getting older now. I can't do too much, glucose, because it kind of affects me. I'd be like
Yeah.
Jeff Daniels and Dumber and Dumber, that scene from the bathroom. But yeah, it's good to indulge every now and then. Not like some days they are getting a small now. They don't binge too much because it can
Yeah.
derail. You might want to take you. You never know. I'm seeing some ladies especially if you do a show like the show it used to have when it was Chicago Pro and they had women's bodybuilding, part of that, and there was the Miss International, and you get your pro card, you can jump on that show the next day. You got to pay your pro fee, and that's an expense right there compared to everything else between the cost of travel to the shows, entry fees, the posing suits. I mean, are you sponsored right now as athlete?
No. No, I'm not sponsored. I pay for all of my stuff. Yeah, I pay for all my stuff.
Yeah, and that's why I say sponsorship does help. Helps cover the cost of travel expenses, motel, food. I've often said like this when you ladies on show day. This is something I saw somebody show me was peak week is show day, and on peak week
Yeah.
you're tired, you're haggard. Now on show day you look like you're just about to walk as Miss America. And I think sponsorship does help. And if anybody's watching this, if you know the lovely Miss Nikki, if you know her story, if you're interested in sponsoring an athlete, she's a great lady. Steve Carr, I know you're in California. That's you're going to drive, you're going to fly to Vegas.
Probably what I did last time. So we fly to Vegas. Me and my best friend, we flew to Vegas, and then we ended up driving back with some friends who thankfully brought the majority of our stuff over, but my coach wanted me to fly. He didn't want me to sit in the car on the way there for like 6, 7 hours. Yeah, so I'll probably do the same thing this time, fly there and then drive back. But yeah, unfortunately, women's bodybuilding is not sponsored a lot like men's bodybuilding. And the crazy part is that women's bodybuilding is more expensive the men's bodybuilding. I mean, my suit alone for the show in November is going to cost me about $1,000 alone. That's just my suit. That's not including hair. That's not including makeup. That's not including any of that stuff. And these guys are over here in, $60 board shorts and, what, get a haircut? Like, I don't know. It's just crazy. But, people don't sponsor women like they sponsor men. I mean, it's kind of like the WNBA, right? That's all backwards too. So, Unfortunately, women's sports are not as I guess important as men's.
Well, the thing is also because like you look at something like the NBA, and you know because they're more dynamic and exciting. It's been around for a long time. WNBA is still it's going to be, and I think what they are using the women's goods, like the women who are very appealing, like someone like Angel Reese, a couple of ladies in the NBA, and you push that because that's it's just how it's how America is. Sex sells. Even though women buy more products, men watch sports and they like to look at something attractive, pretty. That's why divisions like bikini and wellness will get more attention. Arnold Schwarzenegger, he just had, Arnold Schwarzenegger just raised up the prize money for Men's Open at his show, the main show, for $750,000. Andrew Jack wins both the Arnold UK and the Arnold main show and walks away with $1 million. While someone like Andrea, she did the Rising Phoenix. They dropped the prize money from $50,000 to $10,000, and she does the Olympia, gets altogether $60,000. And you got to think about taxes and stuff like that. I understand that it's about that the ones that bring the attention is going to be the men. And I say this often about the men's division, the open men's division. It's the bottom bitch. It's the ones that going to get the attention and get the opportunities. And yes, guys got to put on a pair of banana hammers and board shorts, and that's it. Y'all ladies, you have to look presentable. You have to look, fierce, beautiful, buff, all that, and still don't get that same respect recognition. We have your comment from a man here. Shout out to a man. Chad says, "Brother George, your spit is so hilarious." And also makes sure I'm spitting. And also he says, "I do apologize for being a pest." Yeah. Also, we got here from David Rowland says, shout out GA.
Georgia. Yeah, I met Dave when I was in Georgia at the self-defense course.
Yeah, I went to Georgia. My oldest niece, she lives up there with my great nephew, and I went to visit them and hang out. One thing I got to do was while I was there, I met a lady. I did an interview with her a while back, and I got to meet her there, and that was her name is Christine Ware. And Christine is IFBB pro. She's 50 plus. Her and her coach, that's nice. Rachel Stuckert, and I got to train with Christine. She was doing leg day that day, and my niece, her house has stairs. Yeah, my niece's house has stairs. He lives in a 2-story little walk-up thing, and my knees are like, I got bad knees like Stone Cold Steve Austin. But I enjoyed that opportunity to hang with someone like her and talk about bodybuilding. Like, is there any bodybuilders that are pro around your area, or are you still like just the only pro in your area?
There's only one other one I know that's pro in this area, and that's my previous coach, but we don't talk. And she trains at another gym. So there is another girl that it kind of is in and out of our gym. She's a pro, but in OCB, in the natural, not in the IFBB. And then the other pros that I know are male. So yeah, if I win this show in November, or when I win, sorry Frank, when I win the show in November, I'll be the only female to have won a pro show like in the entire valley, like in multiple counties, like where I'm at. So yeah.
What's the goal we should shoot for?
There's not many of us.
Yeah, because this is, even though California was for a long time the mecca for bodybuilding, but it's like Venice Beach and up closer to the
there's a lot more down south. Yeah, San Diego.
Yeah, I know a lady, her name is Jamie. She lives in San Diego. Actually, she lives in San Francisco. And she told me that, George, I had to sell my car because y'all up there in California, y'all gas prices are crazy. I mean, damn. What you pay for gas, you might as well get yourself a new house.
Like $7.
Yeah, $7. I mean, right now, I think our gas is just barely $4. I mean, we know what's going on. I'm not gonna get too detailed of it, but it's sad. I remember back in the day, gas was like $1. You can fill up a big old giant gas tank. With that much, you can barely get a drop in it in a tank.
Yeah, I used to steal change out of my stepdad's jar to fill up my gas tank and buy cigarettes when I was a teenager. Like $5, I could do both. But
Miss, she say that. She say that. She
already knows.
Oh, she already knows. Okay, so okay, it's cool with you, Miss Melody. She knows. Okay, and don't listen to your little daughter. Hey, don't do that to your mama. Don't do that.
Yeah,
We got here.
he definitely.
We got a comment. We got here from Michael. Mike Olivier says, "Shout out to the hardest working woman in the world, in life and in sport. Nikki is a winner. Hey, I'm telling you, you got a lot of people here
Thank you,
supporting you.
Mike.
Yeah, shout out to Mike. Appreciate you, brother, coming through. And that's the thing. I go back to the importance of support, because again, you have your little girl. She's becoming a woman, because that's one thing I always say like this. It takes a woman to teach a woman, and you have a son, but as a woman, you can only teach him how to be an adult. Everything else he has to learn from man is from other men. But it's good that your little girl is learning something from you, and you become a better woman to her future. You think would she ever be interested in following your footsteps? Maybe one day you get a mother-daughter duo at the Olympia?
Yeah, actually, her big goal is to do a junior show when she turns 18 or like in high school. So I'm really hoping that she follows through on that. Like, yeah, I, she's told me that I'm texting her, telling her to come here. She's here. She's told me though that she wants to do a bodybuilding show, when she's able to. So I've already taught her how to lift. She knows how to, she can bench press, she can deadlift, and she can squat. So yeah, I'm really trying to teach her to be active. I got a Crunch membership so I can take her to the gym and show her some stuff. So that's gonna be a big thing we're gonna be doing this summer. So yeah, I want her to be physically fit and active and I never want her to feel how I felt when I was out of shape and sad and depressed and I don't want any of my clients or friends to ever feel that either. So I just want her to know that anything's possible that she wants to, and you can change any situation you're in, and you can change anything that happens to you, and you make choices in life, whether do you want to go this way or this way, but you do get a choice and you get to pick, and it's a good thing to have that choice.
It's good that especially get them when they're young, where they're still fresh, where they are, because
Yeah.
society, there's so much things going on, especially on social media. Things are going on. I just saw this. It just was done over the weekend where a man killed eight of his children, and
I
that
just heard about
is
that. Yeah.
yeah, it's a release. It was in Louisiana. My father was in and out of my life as growing up as a kid, but he never did something like that. He didn't maybe not pay attention to it. I think I'd rather have him neglect me than do something like that. And it's just sad. These babies don't get to live their lives. And it's good when you're a good parent, when you're there for your children and they are there for you. Like with your son, he's a grown man now. You still look at him as your child, but you know what? You gain a new friendship. I remember that with my mom. When I got older, we used to hang out. We used to go to the yard sales, go shopping, and then when she got sick, I stepped up and said, "You know what? I'm not doing anything. Everybody else got their lives and
Yeah.
got their children. And I don't have anybody." And I used to do this. I was telling this lady, Miss Barbara. I said, like, I remember sometimes my mom in the bed and we sitting there, and she'd be laughing. I said, "Mom," I asked you, "Mom, ain't I a man, Mama? Ain't I a man?" She said, "No, you're my baby. I'm a man, Mama. I'm a man." And we laugh,
Uh,
and.
he's
Her,
still my big baby, but my daughter's here. She can answer your question now, George.
Hey, hello, darling. Hello. You just as pretty as your mama. Hey, so
Oh, thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. So are you like your grandma's here? She's in the chat, so you appreciate that. What do you really about your mama? What can you say about her that we don't know that you know what you feel about her?
What can you say about me that they don't know that only you know?
Um, I don't really know, but I don't know. She's just overall just a great person, but a lot of people know that. But
Look at the camera.
um,
The camera
It's
like
but
that.
funny. She makes TikToks all day and stares at herself all day, but you ask her a question, all of a sudden she doesn't know where the camera is.
That's the difference. TikTok, you don't have to deal with people. This is you, but you're dealing with me, sweetheart. I'll be gentle with you, but I understand that this is the thing about your mother. She take the time and she's raising you and your brother, and she's doing the good work about that. And when she talks about you, you should be proud. If, like I said, if you're my child, you'll be a welcome child in my house because you're doing good work. You're helping your mama. You're doing something. And also, she inspires you to be a better person. Like I tell you right now, last week was my mother's birthday. She would have been 84, and she's been gone for 6 years. And there's not a day where I wouldn't wish for just one day, just me and her sit together and spend time together. Yeah. You can say something, darling.
You know, at times it can be very chaotic, but you know, just having the joy of having a mom that actually was worth well, being a motivation is a lot of work, but the fact that she wanted to change and she made that very hard decision to change for the people that she loves and also for herself and her health and her wealth. But it can be chaotic, but it can also be, you know, very like I don't know, it's like very motivational at times.
It's a lot because you got to be careful. Sometimes if she gets in that prep mode, she's like, he's angry, he's Hulk also. Oh, I say, don't do it, no, mama, no, mama. No, mama, please, mama, no. Like Penny from Good Times. No, mama, no, mama.
Emma knows all about prep. How do you feel about prep? Prep starts May 1st. How do you feel about that?
Well, she can be very grumpy if she doesn't get like peanut butter M&Ms or if her coach is just being really mean to her or if she didn't get enough food and somebody looks or like acts at her the wrong way, then she will snap. But you know, it's just all part of the journey. So that's really it.
So how's your schooling do? What you do in your school? You're still in high school, right?
No, I'm in junior high, but right now I am doing color guard for my school.
Oh, that's really good.
They just won their championship.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Well, let her go because she's fidgeting. We go and get some eat, baby. Enjoy your rest of the day. I appreciate you. Best of luck. And maybe in the future we carry back on. You'll be the next Miss Olympia.
Yeah, because you want to do a bodybuilding program.
Yeah, I want to be. I want to try and be a junior pro bodybuilder, but that's just a long stride. But I'm aiming for it.
Well, sweetheart, take your time. Don't rush. You're still young. Enjoy your life. Don't let no boys mess with you. I mean, but you're a sweet young lady. So we're gonna let you go.
Yeah, we've taught her no boys allowed.
No boys allowed. No, no boys. Boys. It can't wait for the men too, because they gotta be careful. But I do appreciate your time. So we'll let you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sweetheart. She's just a precious baby. She's just precious.
Yeah. So prep starts May 1st. So we're locked in. We're dialed in. We're ready.
Yeah. We got here a comment from my man Chad. Shout out to him. He says, "Continue to keep your legs and glutes growing. I'll pray for you in my Bible study tonight." Thank you, brother. We appreciate that because that thing is, it's good to have support, like people like your daughter, your mom, your son, your clients, your friends. It goes back again that it takes, like we were talking I was discussing with a lady who I'm really cool with. We talk about how bodybuilding is not like a team sport, but in a way, on the stage, you're solo. But approach the show in the gym, you do have a team. You have your coach, you have your daughter, you have your son, you have your friends, you have your clients, and other people that root for you. Because in a way, you do have a team. But when you're on that stage, you are on your own.
Yeah, I know that I couldn't get on the stage, period, if I didn't have the team behind the stage. Like the product on the stage is a lot of hard work from everybody involved. I mean, yeah, you can't even get to the stage without everybody else at all.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's important to have people support you. Because I have a discussion with ladies over time where their parents may not understand it, or I have ladies told me that they got divorced because the sport they're changing themselves. And it's so much. And if you're a type of person who stands by you and supports you, you may not have to like it, but as long as you like what you're doing, you like what it's doing for you, like people like your daughter, your mom, anybody who's here, and all the people who are supporting you, that's most important. If anything else, like one thing, we go back to how friendships can change when it comes to
Yeah.
sport, because you're doing something different. You know, you can't go out and do this with the girls. You can't go out and do that with, you know, your friends. And then when you go to places, you have to bring your own food because, you know, you can't be eating there, like
No.
holidays. What we're on for, summer's coming up. I know it's already warm in California, you know, barbecues and stuff are heating up. Won't be long for the holidays. Seem like it used to be when I was a kid. Christmas took forever, but now it's just around the corner.
Yeah. It's I tell all my clients, especially when they're getting ready. My client Allison, I told her the first day that she was going into prep, we were supposed to be going to a birthday dinner, and she goes, "Oh, I can't go." And I said, "Listen, I said prep is going to be a very lonely place if you don't get comfortable bringing your food, doing your thing. I mean, I don't expect anybody else to do what I'm doing. I don't need anybody else to do what I'm doing, but I'm definitely going to do what I need to do for myself because if you don't keep yourself involved and you don't keep yourself incorporated and you isolate yourself, it can be it can be a very lonely place. But you can still live life and be in prep. You can still live life and compete. It just looks a little differently, but you need to be able to just roll with it kind of, and be prepared, yeah, I got told a long time ago, like being unprepared is amateur shit. Like be prepared for any situation, take your food with you, get your stuff ready, and you'll be okay. You can do anything.
Mhm. Like officer, like just be aware of surroundings at all times.
Yeah.
Be conscious of what you're doing. Sometimes it can be easy to derailed. Because I know you're cooking for her, you're cooking for yourself, and then she may not, Mom, I don't feel like eating pre or prep food. Let me can I have some burger and some and a pizza. But you have
I
to
don't cook for
be.
her. She cooks for herself.
Oh, that's wow. Wow. Ooh,
Yeah, I
that's a
make my stuff
woman.
and she makes her own stuff.
That's a woman. She's cooking for herself.
Yeah,
Actually, I
we're
was cooking for
we're teaching
myself.
independence over here.
Yeah, all the independent ladies in the house. You, your mother, your daughter, the three generations independent women. But we like a
That's
good,
right.
strong
Yep.
woman. We like a good, strong woman. We got here from
I
man
come from
David
strong
Rowland.
women.
David Rowland says, great advice for someone in prep, especially getting comfortable but uncomfortable. Yeah, you have to learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Also, shout out
Yep.
to my man Chad. He's been sticking in here. He says, stay safe, Miss Nikki. Can't wait to see you on your next show. And that is going to be the Steve Carr show coming up in November
Yep.
in Vegas. I'm planning on going to the show, but it's going to be up north, and
Okay.
in a few months. I was gonna go by plane, but then with planes, because I'm a big dude, they charge you extra for a seat some places, so I'm gonna go
Oh
by
yeah.
train. Yeah, because I did that last time I went to Tampa. I went by train. It was I had a 5-hour layover in Savannah, and then another 5-hour layover back to in Savannah, back to South Carolina where I catch a train at.
George,
But
you should let me give you a meal plan. You'll be on that plane.
yeah, I'm a funny Dunny. I know y'all get you me. There's some things even though a big man. I'm a figurative eater, but I'm being smart. I am being smart because I said again, I was at 500 pounds. Last time I went to my
I know, I
doctor,
remember.
yeah, 416, and that's pretty good. It
Nice.
takes time,
Congratulations.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
appreciate
know
that.
it does.
Yeah, it takes time. You don't want to rush again. You don't want to burn. I don't want to look like a living husk. I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder. I wouldn't mind having a bodybuilder, a woman, but that's a different situation. So, folks, we're not going to be seeing too long with the lovely Miss Nikki Treadway. We have here from man Dave. He says, shout out Savannah. Yes, I was there. My first bodybuilding show was 2022. I went there. I enjoyed the opportunity to be there. I was at the train station when I went to Savannah the first time. And I went to go to Florida, go to Tampa Bay. Shout out to my man David. So now,
Also, happy birthday almost, Dave. And it's my mom's birthday in 2 days too. So happy birthday to my mom and happy birthday coming up to Dave.
happy birthday, Audrey. Happy birthday, Miss Penelope. You just like this. It's an old saying. I'm with my man Doc Holliday. You just get finer with time, ma'am. That's how my man Doc
Beautiful.
Holliday. He's a Southern gentleman. So and out of respect, I won't ask her age because it's not gentleman like to ask a lady's age. So yeah, it's good that they people came here to support you and stand by you. Here's Dave. He give you the heart sign. Dave. Yeah, Dave. Dave is just a friend, huh? So, and I think that's good to have people to support you, because we go back to the fact that sport can be mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, spiritually draining. Most people
Yeah.
wouldn't do what y'all do. Get up in the morning, do fast cardio, go to work, raise a child, stick to a diet. I mean, again, food can be both a tool and a weapon in the process of bodybuilding. And I learned from some people say like it's more 60-40. It's going to be 40% in the gym, 60 in the kitchen. And
Yeah.
being dedicated to something that is very extreme on one side of it. It's bodybuilding is not, well, it's been around for a long time, but it's not as popular or well known compared to, like, when you think about bodybuilding, like we had a discussion about back in the 80s, there was a movie called Pumping Iron 2 about women. And the first movie was Pumping Iron about the men. And most people, when we think about bodybuilding, think about guys like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Lou Ferrigno. But there's so many great people. I got to, when I was in Tampa, I got to meet Derek Lunsford just a few months before he won the Olympia.
Oh yeah.
Again. I got to meet so many amazing women and people, in my process, and reaching out to people like yourself and seeing how you grow and developed over time. We have here the lovely Miss Penelope, and she says
Welcome.
thank you. Well, ma'am, I'm a quote from my favorite movie, The Dark Knight himself. He says, "You never have to." That's why I do this. You never have to thank me. So, yeah. So, what we say would be the most important thing in your process in your future as a bodybuilder?
The most important thing in my process and future as a bodybuilder is, again, relentless pursuit. Set a goal, stay focused. Nothing comes between you and the goal. I mean, and ultimately that's it, whether that is bodybuilding, whether that's your professional life, your work life, your home life, you got goals, you want to retire, you want to buy property, whatever it is that you want to do, relentless pursuit. You will reap the benefits of the effort you put in. You put in 50%, you get 50%. You put in 100, you get 100. Like, that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's important to you. Shout out to our man Chad coming through. He says that he drops it. He says he give a blue heart. Appreciate that. And folks, if you're interested, like I said, she's not a sponsored athlete. And sponsorship does help. If you are so genuinely interested in sponsoring an athlete like the lovely Mrs. Treadway, have a plan. Don't be so this guy says, "Yeah, Nikki, I've seen your last couple of shows. Yeah, you look so sweet. I like that TikTok." No, you sick freak. Stop that. This is when you present to a lady, say, "Well, Mrs. Treadway, we are inspired by your story about how you were overweight, how you struggled, how you lost the weight, being a woman raising 2 children on your own. I mean, it's very interesting about yourself. So we are looking to help sponsor athletes. And what you have done in your career with your life is very inspirational. So if you
Thank
like
you.
to work with us and we work with you, we have contracts here. We'll cover some costs and stuff like that. And we see how we do in the future. Just something you feel like you're comfortable in being a part of as a brand ambassador. So let us know.
Thank you, George.
Don't give me thanks. It's just me. It's Mike Snick. So, folks, we appreciate. We say congratulations. She's now IFBB pro. She's stepping with the big dogs. Big dogs. It's like I said. We probably there's some, like I said, other than Liz Apodaca, and Liz got 7 kids, and she also lives in California. She works 2 jobs, and you get amazing lady, and you going there. So that's 2 confirmations. I think we're gonna have some more ladies. I think we was gonna have at that show was supposed to be almost more women than they have for the Olympia, but some stuff happened, drop out because we do need the numbers because things are going on, shows can cut out. There's one young lady I interviewed a while back, Anastasia Ryder. She did a GoFundMe for trying to get bodybuilding shows at the Tampa. Another lady interviewed who got a pro card just at the Nationals, Kelly Larkins. She's doing a documentary, and she already just picked up her 8th woman for the show. Some amateurs and quite a few IFB pros. And also, if you hadn't heard of it, there is the women's bodybuilding IG where they're doing like a group chat. And they are trying to find a way to save women's bodybuilding because whatever we can do, like come together, get the numbers, and maybe try to find promoters who will be interested in supporting the division. They're always say the excuse that no one want to see the women, So you want to see little bikini, little twigs walking around with balloons in their chest. Okay, hey, you got them, but it's not a be all. But this is about a division that is the architect for every other division, except for bikini and wellness and fit model. Those were brought in. But women's bodybuilding, it wasn't for that. You wouldn't have fitness, you wouldn't have figure, you wouldn't have physique. Those divisions, I think, if we can get people to stand up and give y'all ladies a fighting chance. I know consolidating shows is good, but we still like to see more of y'all during the year. And as you know, May's going to be dry because, there was not going to be at the New York Pro, and then, it's going to be a long wait. And just need that, give y'all a fighting chance. And women like yourself who's stepping up and throwing your hat. Just like I said, there's like a lady I interviewed, Nina Bean, she's going to be doing Atlanta. Kelly's going to do Atlanta.
Okay.
A couple of ladies are going to be doing some shows. They just got their pro cards, and that's good. It's like a united front.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought about doing Atlanta too, but yeah, we're gonna stick with Vegas. But yeah, I mean, the more women that we can get interested in the sport and the more women that compete, I mean, obviously the more popularity, but sadly, culturally or what am I trying to say? Aesthetically pleasing is not muscular women. We are definitely a niche, that's for sure.
Yeah, because you're gonna have one side, you have the guys who say, if you like women with muscle, you're gay. Well, I'm like this. If this is a lovely lady in front of me, if I'm gay, well, I'm changing my name from Don Juan to Twan. So, and you have the guys that
I regularly get called a man on my social media.
I don't get it. I understand, because here's the thing: having muscles don't make you a man. I'm a man. I don't have muscles. I get all this around me, But that's the thing, is that it's everybody's idea what woman supposed to be. It has evolved over years. It's not like it used to be where you just having babies in a cave and rolling out. Y'all women you can run for president. Y'all running corporations. Y'all doing this. I worked at a strip club, and those girls, they worked hard. They took their money and parlayed this other stuff, even going to school.
Yeah.
I think as men, we need to get out of the idea of what women should be. Yes, we need you to be our mothers, our wives, our lovers, all that too. But also, you can be wherever you want to be. That's your choice. And as a man myself, I'm comfortable who I am. And if guys talking about me saying I might become concerned, that's on you. Why do you go to a show, look at a guy half naked in a pair of little shorts? You should be the one there's got to be some sugar in your
tank. Yeah, but you don't want to look at a girl. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good point, actually.
Yeah. Say, why you want to look at? I've been to a couple shows. I've seen the guys. I have nothing against the guys. But you don't excite me like that. Something like Nikki or someone lazy. Yeah, y'all. As you know, your old smoke saying, "Your ladies rock hard. We're rock hard." I'm sorry, Miss Penelope. I'm sorry you let that go, but I had to let it go. I apologize to you. Please accept my apology. So I know my crime. But I would say like this: if we can get people to realize that this is a sport, and you're athletes, and you're dedicated to this, and it should be the same at the other end with promoters, with sponsors, to support y'all women, to give y'all opportunities to come to the stage, bring your best physique, put in your best work, and to see the presentation y'all bring. I know your boys clap and say, "Yeah, that's my mom." Your little girls say, "Yeah, that's our mom." But that freaks outside say, "Yeah, she's big, buff, and blonde hair. Hey, shut up! That's my mom. That's my mom." But that's the thing.
Too.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that you're gonna have flip sides to this. And you know what? For those people who truly are fans, who truly support your ladies, who respect who you are, those are the most important people. The other ones, the weirdos or the haters, you know what? For you haters, thank you for hating, because you know what? You hate so much, I care so you're my fuel. You energize me. You keep me going, because your hate is so strong and gives me strength.
The crazy thing is like, even though they hate, like, it's still, it still boosts the algorithm because they're still watching, they're still commenting. Hate all you want to, like, please keep hating, because it's just pushing out more content and videos, and it's going further and it's going further. So really, they're hating, but they're helping. So whatever, hate away. I don't care. I used to care. I used to let it get to me, but I don't care anymore. It doesn't bother me. I know who I am. I'm comfortable with who I am. There could probably be men too if they lifted a little bit more weights. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. It's like men say, if you feel like you're not a man enough, go to the gym. Lift some weights.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Get your weight up. Don't be hating on her because she's doing more on the bench press than you do. Like, hey. Say, here you go, little man. Say,
I
thank you,
know.
Nikki. Yeah.
You
But
watch George. I'm
anyway,
gonna press those 100-pound dumbbells soon.
yeah. But be careful. We don't want it to hurt yourself. Miss Penelope, watch out for your little girl. Don't let her hurt herself. Don't let a baby hurt yourself. And for your little girl, shout out to her. She has great potential, great future because she comes from a generation of two strong women ahead of her. And that's the thing is, it's from our parents we learned how to be strong, how to adapt, how to train, and just understanding who we be. You can teach us so much, but it's up to us how we take the information, how we use it in our futures. We got our man BC dropping off. He says this, strong men like strong women. That's true. That's the thing. It's the other one said, the little weak men like they got,
I know.
But yeah. But the thing is, man, you have to be comfortable with who she is as a woman. And if she's not your cup of tea, here's the best advice: don't say nothing. Keep your mouth shut. Keep it moving. Is the baby Is the baby still in there in the?
Yeah, she's right here. I think she just ate cookies or something. I don't know.
Well, I want to say goodbye to her.
Oh, he wants to say bye to you.
Bye, baby. Have a nice day. She's so sweet. That's one of my. That's one of my biggest regrets, not having any of my own. You have two. That's great. So
thank you.
You ma'am, again, you don't have to thank me. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your guests over here, my man BC, Chad, your mom, Allison, Dave, Mike, my man KL, all you who came here to support her. Stand by this woman, support her. Be there at Steve Carr if you can make it. I will watch the pay-per-view because I had it because my girlfriend was there. She was doing guest posing. She looks so beautiful.
I'm excited.
She looks so beautiful, Andrea. I can't help myself. What is it? I got to meet her. Maybe if I got to, I don't know, Robert Bank. No, I'm not saying that Robert Bank, but I would love to meet women like herself and like you in person and talk to y'all and get y'all.
She's
thoughts.
awesome.
Yeah, you got to meet her?
No, I haven't met her. I met Linda Murray, but I haven't met Andrea Shaw. No.
Linda Murray. I actually remember when I went to Savannah in 2022. That was her show, and I saw her. She was sitting in the front VIP section, and I was taking pictures. And she turned around, and she smiled at me. I got a picture. It's not as clear, but And I met Alita Popa and Donna Salim, quite a few ladies, and for me, it was a great opportunity. And even meeting people like Sharonica and Ashley, and I walked past and say hello to Richard Daniels. I was wearing my Superman shirt. I said, Real Lois Lane, Superman. So we just kind of did like that. I mean, for me, it was just a highlight, But
yeah, I love that. It's great.
Yeah, but I do wish you all the best. Congratulations on being a pro. Shout out to the lovely your mother, your mother, Miss Penelope. Thank you for following me on social media, madam. And all you who are here to support your friend, your daughter, your coach. We all appreciate you. We have this. This is for we're gonna let it out with Miss Penelope saying this. Says Emmy say hi, gorgeous. She's driving.
Oh, it's my sister Amy.
yeah. Shout out to your sister Amy. Thank you for supporting your sister. I love my big sister too. So, folks, we'd like to say congratulations again to Nikki, my darling Nikki, and all the best of luck to your future.
Thank you, George. I really appreciate you.
We appreciate you back. So, anyway, folks, enjoy the rest of your week. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Over the hump. We have a few more months left of April. Can you believe it? Oh, God. So we start 2026. What the hell? Well, folks, that's how the time is. It flies by. So anyway, folks, it's your man always George Page, a.k.a. the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Like, subscribe, Good night, good luck, God bless, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.